morning, students. So again we are here with this chapter number second. Again, myself, Mr. Yogesh Daga. Today's date is 18th February and the day is Monday. Okay, students. In this, you have done the various topics. That is the five concepts which you have already done. Total six concepts which you have already done. I have ticked this concept in this first slide. Entity concept already done. Money measurement concept done. Business speed concept already done. Going concern concept done. Cost concept is over and dual aspect concept is also over. Now today we are going to start with the new concept, that is revenue recognition concept. Student, this one is our sixth concept. What does the revenue recognition concept says about? Revenue recognition, as the word suggests, that in the books of accounts, revenue is to be recorded. What do you mean by revenue? In the terms you have already studied, revenue means the money or the income which we have received on the sale of goods. Okay, the income which we have received on doing any type of services, that is the revenue. Now recognition, that revenue is to be recognized in the books on the date when the transaction has been done. It means the right to receive the money has already been established. Suppose A is selling goods to B. Okay, A sold goods today, that is on 15th May. Now when the A is going to record this in the books of accounts, he will record in the books of accounts on the 15th May. He will not wait for the cash which B is going to pay after some times, because even if we are selling the goods right now, we are selling always on the credit basis, and the right to receive the money is established today only. The person to whom we have sold the goods, he may pay me the money after 10 days, 15 days, or after 1 month, but we will not wait for the cash to be done. We are required to record in the books of accounts on the date when the transaction has been occurred. So here is the content. According to this principle, revenue is considered to have been realized when a transaction has been entered and the obligation to receive the amount has been established when the transaction has been done. An obligation to receive means we are now sure that we are going to receive the money from the buyer. We know, but when he is going to pay, when he will going to pay me the cash, we will not wait for that. In other words, when we receive rights to receive revenue, it is called the revenue is recognized. Here I have given you the picture in which the person is recording the transactions on the date when the transaction has been done, but not on the date when he is going to receive the money. So for example, sales made in the month of March 2010 and the revenue is that received in April 10. So when we will record in the books of accounts, revenue of this sales will be recognized in the March month when the goods are sold. We will not wait for the cash in the April. We will record it in the March month only. Another example, commission for the March, that is 2010, even if it is received in April, will be taken into the profit and loss account of the March month only. Also for the commission, which is the various income which you will receive, is to be recorded on the date when right to receive has been occurred. You will not wait when you are going to receive the payment or when you are going to receive that income. You will record on the date when right to receive that is occurred. Okay. And similarly, it is the rent example, which is paid in received in advance in the March 2010. It will be recorded in the profit and loss of the financial year 2011. Okay, in the 2010 is received in advance in 2000 in March 2010. So you will record in the April. Next concept is your matching concept. Now, what does this concept says that students, from this word matching, you can come to know matching means you are required to match something. But in the books of accounts, what does this matching stands for? Matching here stands for, in your books of accounts, you are required to record or you are required to match the transactions of the revenue and expense of that year only. It means if you are earning some revenue, you are also required to do some expenses. So you are required to match that revenue and expense of that year only. It means you are not required to take the expense of coming year or the past year. You are required to take the expense of that year only. Match means you are required to match the revenue and income of that year only. So here is the concept. The matching concept states that the expense incurred in an accounting period. should be matched with the revenue during that period. Revenue during that period means you are required to match the expense and revenue of that period only. You cannot take the expense of the previous year or for the coming year. It follows from this that the revenue expense incurred to earn this revenue must belong to the same accounting period. This is what I am saying. For example, salary for the month of March 2010 paid in the April 2010 is recorded in the profit and loss of the financial year ending 31st March. Why? This is because matching concept says that you are required to match the expense with the revenue of the accounting period in which it was occurred. It was occurred in the March, but you have paid in April, but it was belongs to the month of March. So you will match with the income of the March month only and not in the year when it is realized. Similarly, we record the cost of goods sold and not the goods purchased or goods produced. Cost of goods sold, which you will study later on when the 11th whole accountancy will get over. Cost of goods sold will be recorded, not the goods purchased, because purchasing done on every time and it is the money is paid at every time. So we will record on the date when the cost of goods sold has to be recorded. Okay, so cost of unsold goods should be deducted from the cost of goods purchased. So from the goods purchased, if something is lying with us, it is something which we have not sold, we will keep as it is, or we will deduct from the goods which have already purchased because it is with us. So we will not going to consider that for this year. Okay, next one is full disclosure concept. Now full disclosure concept, as a line suggests, all material facts should be disclosed. Students, this full disclosure concept is just like you are required to disclose each and everything in the books of accounts. You cannot hide anything because in the first chapter you have studied the interested users of the accountancy. The various users are being dependent on your account, so you're required to make them crystal clear related to the every transactions of your business. So apart from the legal requirement, good accounting practice require all the material and significant information must be disclosed. Financial statements are the basic means of communicating financial information to the users for taking useful decisions. So you cannot hide anything because your accounts are being used by various interested users. So if you are hiding something, it may bring some loss to your business. So this concept states that all material and relevant fact and financial performance must be fully disclosed in the financial statements. And companies 1956 also provide the format for making profit and loss in the balance sheet. They are also providing the format how you are required to prepare the profit and loss and balance sheet. These are the concepts which you are going to study at the end when the 11th standard is being over. Okay, now sir, I am just taking one example. Okay, uh, in the month of March, in your business, the fire occurred. Okay, and in that there is a loss of rupees 5 crore. Okay, and because of this 5 crore loss, if you are not disclosing these things to your interested users, and afterwards this interested users comes to know about this, it may bring loss to your business. They will not invest in your business, they will take their money back. Okay, so it is necessary as per the legal requirement or for the good practice, you should disclose each and every fact. Example, I have taken the reason for low turnover should be disclosed. Okay, students. Now the concept is of consistency. Now consistency as a word in the terms of adjective, we consider consistency which means we should be consistent. We should be having a always equal step for everyone. We should not change our mood. So in this accountancy here, the consistency stands for, this concept states that accounting practices followed by an enterprise should be uniform and consistent over a period of time. Uniform means like the same every time, and consistent, you should not change. Okay, why? Because students, if the consistency is not there, then you are not able to prove your accounts. The person who is interested in your accounts, if he see that every time the company is changing its policy, every time the company is changing everything, it may bring disregards to your business. So always you are required to follow the consistency principle in your business. For example, if an enterprise had adopted the straight line method of charging depreciation. Now student, depreciation, the term which you have studied in the first chapter, depreciation refers to the wear and tear of fixed asset due to the use, time and the obsolescence of the technology. So this depreciation, we are having the two methods, straight line method and written down value method. If the company is following any one of the method, you are required to follow that method every time. And if you are changing that method, then you are required to change retrospectively and also give a disclosure regarding that you have changed your method. So companies following the straight line method, if we adopt written down value method from the second year, charging depth in the financial information will not be comparable. So for consistency, you are required to follow any type of method for over a period of time, and you should not make the changes. And if it is required, the necessary changes can be adopted and should be disclosed in the books of account. Okay. Next concept is your concept of conservatism. What does this concept of conservatism says that? As a conservatism means you should be conserved. Conserved means you should think about all the probable losses which may going to happen, but you should not consider any type of profit. Student, in this period of lockdown, as you can say, there are many losses which are going to be occur. So government is uh, conserving the various things. They are making the stock of various things. They are also giving the money to the middle class workers or the workers class laborers, because they are conserving the things that loss is going to occur. But if there is any profit in this lockdown, they are not considering this. This is the concept of conservatism. So this concept takes into consideration all prospective losses but not the prospective profits. So only prospective losses are being considered, no prospective profit. It means profit should not be recorded until it is realized, but all the losses, even which have a remote possibility means you can think about that their loss is going to be happen, it is to be recorded in the books of accounts. So for example, volume closing stock. Now student, what is this closing stock? If you purchase something and some of the goods are being sold but some are not being sold, it has lying with us, then that are known as closing stock. For that there are various methods, first in first out, last in first out. And once the stock are with there us, then there are two methods of recording, that is cost or market value, whichever is less. Now if you purchase these goods which are lying with you is of rupees 10,000, but in the market the now its cost become 8,000, then you will record it at the 8,000, because you are conserving your goods by recording 2,000 loss, which having a remote possibility is going to be occur. So you will record the loss in the books of account. Because of this concept, the business is going to continue its business fruitfully. Next concept is of materiality concept. Now, what does this materiality concept is? Materiality word, as a name suggests, to be material. All the transactions which are having a materiality, that is, the transaction which are important is to be shown in the books of account. But the transaction which are immaterial, it means that are of no use or it cannot affect the decision of the interested users are not to be shown in the books of account. Here I have shown the perfect picture for the material. The person is seeing from the bioscope what is material is to be seen. Okay. The content goes as this concept states that accounting should focus on material fact. Whether the item is material or not shall depend upon the nature and amount involved in it. Again, student, I am taking one example. Apart from this example, which you can study, but my example, in your business, there occur a fire, and because of which you got a loss of rupees just 10,000. Yes, students, your business is doing a turnover, that is sale of rupees 15 crore. Now, students, loss of rupees 10,000 as the sale is 15 crore. This is not much a difference. Means it will not affect many decisions. So it is immaterial transaction. But if a business is doing a sale of rupees 15 crore and there occur a loss in your business for rupees 5 crore, yes, this one is the main aspect to be considered, because it depends on the nature and the amount involved. So earlier the loss of rupees 10,000 only with respect to the sales of 15 crore, then that is immaterial. But now the loss is of rupees 5 crore with respect to the sale of 15 crore. This 5 crore is material. So another example which we can take, we are purchasing pencil, scale, rubber, sharpener anytime. We cannot record in the books of accounts by their name because they are immaterial. But recording material you can record by one name, that is the stationery. Okay. So student, this one is my example. This is also given at the screen. Okay. Next concept, the last concept is the objectivity concept. What does this objectivity concept says? That objectivity concept says that the books of accounts are to be prepared only on the object for which the business is existence. Okay, so student, this concept says that this concept states that the accounting should be free from biasness, personal biasness. Personal biasness means the management who is preparing the accounts, they always use their own method, they always use their own ideas, or they may use their accounts for their own benefit. That this concept says that accounts should be free from the personal biasness. This can be possible when every transaction is supported by verifiable documents, and this can be possible only when, if we are purchasing any goods, we should always ask for the bill, because on the basis of that bill only we will report in the books of accounts. And if there is any dispute, then we can show the bill to verify that transaction has already been done. For example, purchase of machine at rupees 30,000 should be supported by the voucher. Voucher means the invoice or the bill which you can say, and should be recorded in the books of account. Similarly, other supporting documents such as cash memo, invoices, receipt voucher is to be basis for accounting and auditing. Suppose student, we have purchased an petrol from the petrol station. Okay, and we are asking for the bill. If we are filling the petrol for rupees 1,000, so we can ask for the bill of rupees 1,000. And if the business wants to know how much petrol you have filled in your bike or vehicle, then you can say that this one is the bill. On basis of that, it will be recorded in the books of account and it acts as a verifiable document. So student, these are the various concepts which we have studied. The earlier videos is of 6 concept, and today it is the video of the remaining concept. Hope you all enjoyed a lot. Now students, you are required to study all these things. Okay students, and if there is any doubt, you can contact me. My number is 9879 373 401, and my email ID is yogesdaga 2017 @gmail.com. Okay students, then thank you.